Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Bryan Lee Whatley. Our story begins tonight with our special guest, Amy Weber. She is a very talented actress, singer, model, TV, and movie producer here talking about her music with her upcoming album, Let It Rain, her TV show, Good Samaritan, and the movie she's executive producing and acting in called Crossroad. As a beautiful actress and cover model, Amy has shown tremendous versatility in her many on and off screen roles, which comes from her years of hard work, study of her craft, and of course natural talent. Amy's easygoing nature and toned physique has led to a number of television roles. Since her recurring role on the ABC soap opera Port Charles, which helped launch her acting career, she has gone on other shows such as CSI, Seventh Heaven, and Pacific Blue. And with her amazing career as a model, she has been on the cover of DT, Maxim, and Health and Fitness, just to name a few. As if she isn't busy enough already, she is a singer with a couple of albums out, with a new one releasing soon. And in my opinion, and many others, Amy is a wonderful person. She's down to earth, and her ambitious star is on the rise. So there's no stopping her, and honestly, with her talent, why would you want her to stop? So be sure to keep an eye on Amy. You never know what is coming next, but it will be great. Our musical guest tonight is, of course, Amy Weber with her new song album titled Let It Rain. It's a mix of pop and dance with a touch of R&B that will keep you moving. Her full album, Let It Rain, will drop March the 1st, 2012. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome, Amy. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
It's so great to have you here. I'm excited, super excited. I know all of our listeners and viewers are excited as well to find out all the great stuff that's going on. But before we get into your latest projects, can you expand a little bit about yourself and some of the things that you do?
Sure, I know. I have a lot of hyphens. I have a lot of hyphens when it comes to what I do, but I just feel like the sky's the limit, and I think that the world is out there for the taking, and I enjoy being creative in so many different aspects. So, I really started out as an actress, and that parlayed into modeling, which was kind of a crazy story, and then ended up, after acting for several years, I really found the business aspect to be very fascinating for me. So that's what kind of led to the producing side of it. And as far as the music goes, I've always sang. I used to perform when I was very young, and it's a dream that I sort of put on the back burner and realized that it was still, really itching to get out, and I have nothing to lose. So I just went in and got into the recording studio and tried to figure out where I wanted to go with it. And I think this latest album that's getting ready to drop on March 1st is really my sound. I think it's something that is my niche, and I feel good about, and just the kind of music that you just want to roll down your windows and play it really loud, and that's what I like listening to. So that's the kind of stuff I wanted to record. Nice.
Well, to start off with, some of the things that is obviously blatant for our viewers out there is the fact that you're an awesome model. And from looking at your portfolio work that you do, you can cover so many different genres, and I don't see that a lot in terms of models being able to pull off so many different looks. Because you've also been on magazine covers with DT, Maxim, Stun, Ocala, Health and Fitness, but your portfolio also shows lingerie, fashion, even I think I noticed some gothic stuff and some swimwear. What is it about modeling that you're so good at and that you like so much about? Because a lot of people don't realize it's very, very hard work.
You're so sweet. I don't know. I think I just have that face that makeup likes me and doesn't like me. I think that it's nice that I can do the kind of sweet girl next door stuff, and then I can also put on a ton of makeup and get the hair and the body rocking and do swimwear lingerie. I've been very fortunate that I was never pigeonholed in that way. Even though I'm really petite for a model, I was still able to do so much catalog work and a lot of cosmetic campaigns and ads and stuff, and I wasn't just put into the only doing swimwear, only doing lingerie. So I was really just very blessed and fortunate in that way.
Well, you've done so many different things in terms of also of TV and movie work, anywhere from being on Port Charles, CSI, Seventh Heaven, Pacific Blue. You've worked with some really great people like Dylan McDermott, David Spade, and some commercial work that a lot of our viewers know that you're also part of the GoDaddy commercial scene. Stuff like that just seems really, really fun to do, is it?
It's a lot of work, So sometimes it's not as fun as it seems. I mean, I know when, especially with the modeling stuff, if, you're shooting and you're on this beautiful island, you're still in makeup at 3:34 in the morning. And it's just constant. I mean, you cannot stop because once that sun starts going down, you lose your day. And so it's really, you're trying to get through 200 and some garments. But again, it's fantastic. I would never trade it for anything. It's so much fun being on set. It's so much fun being able to bring a story to life or do a commercial that's funny or thought-provoking, or doing a movie that brings out, some sort of emotion in people, whether that's, laughter or comedy or tears. There's a whole reason I really wanted to be an actress, because I really just wanted to be able to affect people in some way, and hopefully in a positive way.
A lot of people don't realize on how long you're actually on set, and I've gone to a couple of sets before to watch, and also been an extra in a couple of little things. So I like doing that kind of stuff. But you literally, when you're on set, you're there for the whole day, either starting at 6 or 7 a.m. and sometimes, just like you said, you don't leave until 3 or 4 in the morning. So whenever that scene or that shot is done, no matter if they shoot it one time or 50 times, you still have to do it.
Sometimes you'll be hitting like 18, 19, 20-hour days, especially, producing. When you're producing some independent films, as a producer, you're usually the first one on set and you're the last one to leave, making sure that the location that, your investors who generously gave you the money for is cleaned up and put back into its original place. So that's your responsibility as a producer. And I still love it. I want to make sure everyone's taken care of and we're getting the job done and everyone's happy. But there can definitely be some long days. There can be some short days. I shot a Wrigley's chewing gum commercial, and I was shocked that I was out of there in 2 hours. But I've also had some amazingly long night after night, and you just have to, sleep when you can. And I did a movie in Indonesia, and that was such an incredible experience to be in another country and another culture. But it was just weird that as the sun was coming up, we shot nights, I would be scrubbing the special effects makeup off of me on this balcony with a bucket, and I'm like, oh, this is so glamorous. You can see me now. I'm like, the second skin that they put on me is, it's fantastic. It's just, you get to play every single day, and it is definitely a lot of work, but it's so rewarding.
Yeah, sometimes, talking about whenever you start taking off the makeup or the special effects, things like that, your word, it was exactly my thoughts. It's like, ooh, isn't that glamorous? But, that's just part of the work.
Yeah, absolutely. My poor children are still terrified. Every time I come home and take off false eyelashes, they're just like, what's happening? Mommy's falling apart.
Nice. Well, you mentioned in terms of being a producer, so let's start off with some of the TV shows and things that you're working on. You're the executive producer and host of Good Samaritan and GoodSamaritanTV.com, right?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about this piece?
I'm so proud of this show. I created the show a couple of years ago, and it really just bore out of the fact that I just didn't know there was any shows out there like it that were entertaining and funny, but also had an educational, informational thing geared more towards kids. And so it's a hidden camera show, and I put people in extraordinary circumstances to see if they're willing to help their fellow man or woman. And it's not so much about, morality, like if you have enough morals, and it's more about humanity. Just human to human, as long as it's safety first. If there's someone in need, are you going to take time out of your day to help that total stranger? And I love the show. It just started airing on Dish last weekend. It airs Saturday nights at 7 p.m. And then AMG is another broadcaster that has about 50 million subscribers. It starts airing this weekend on AMG. You can check your local listings for that. And then I have other deals with some very huge broadcasters that we're nailing down. So hopefully we'll start rolling out closer to February in about 80 million U.S. households.
Wow. That does sound pretty exciting. Now, Good Samaritan, I used to be a former military police officer, and my brother was a police officer, and that was something we always believed in, was actually Good Samaritan works whenever it came about. Do you find a lot of people out there that are Good Samaritans?
It's shocking. For me, it's shocking how incredibly rude and awful people can be when someone's asking them for help, when one of my exes is asking for help. And I'm always sitting, I'm hiding and I'm watching the monitors, but it is overwhelmingly touching when so many people come forth to lend a hand in so many just weird, extraordinary ways that you would not imagine. I'm thinking to myself, we're not going to find a single person to stop and help our actor or actress. And then when they come and they do it, I try to hold it together. I mean, I start to run out there and surprise them with a great prize package, but it's wonderful. One of the first times that we shot in downtown Los Angeles, which is notorious for people just basically very myopic in their own world, trying to get from point A to point B and not a lot of time on their hands. And I was astounded at the generosity that some of these people showed to our actors and actresses. So yes, there are definitely fantastic people still out there, and I'm out to show the world that they exist.
Well, I've got to watch this because I've seen a video clip of it, and one of the things that I believe in is that there are good people out there in the world in order to help our fellow man or woman, like you said, because there's times that I'll just go to the mall and just kind of sit down and observe society and just watch people and see whether or not they'll bump into each other, or somebody drops something, like their shopping bag, whatever, somebody else picks it up and hands it back to them, or anything like that. And it amazes me, the goodness of people. And it's not necessarily always the goodness of people during Christmas time, but it's the goodness of people year round. And it's wholehearted whenever you see that happen. And you just want to walk up to them and shake their hand and say thank you. That was a very good thing that you did for society in general. Can you give us some examples of some of the things that are on the show?
Sure. On our first episode, I have an actor who's playing an out of work stockbroker who is now delivering pizzas, and there's nothing wrong with being a delivery person, but he found himself in the front of his old office building, and he's so embarrassed that he needs to go and deliver this pizza. And the only reason why he was fired was because of nepotism within the company. That the boss had hired, a nephew, and he hadn't done anything wrong, but his spirit was so low that he just could not go in and face his old boss delivering this pizza, and he just needs someone to go in and drop this pizza off. And it's so interesting, some of the greed, well, can I see the pizza? Is there really a pizza? People are very cautious, which they should be, but it was great, the help that we received. And another part of that we have another upcoming story is even as funny as a guy that needs to use a porta potty, because we all know when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah, definitely.
And unfortunately, this porta potty's door keeps swinging open because the lock is broken, and he just needs someone to hold the door. And so I really try every show. I try really hard to hit someone in the heart, but then I also try to lighten it up with some humor. And I think we're really succeeding in that way. And I also started featuring some everyday Good Samaritans. So whether that's an organization or a person who every single day is doing great things for others, I really felt like the show had a voice, and I wanted to make sure that I featured people like that as well.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Now, how do your actors feel whenever they're going out there and they get turned down by people who aren't Good Samaritans? How does it make them feel?
That's funny. I did a best of show. It's our third show they'll be rolling out. And I asked them, how do you feel? And they just said, it's you got to put your pride aside and remember that it's not really me that they're turning down. But it's tough. It is tough to ask a complete stranger for help. And so, they just have to get out there and just walk up to people and ask them. Why are we so afraid of other people? It's just, I don't know. I wish it wasn't like that. I mean, I understand the fear because there are a lot of people out there that, could hurt you. And again, that is always our motto, safety first. But we are so weary of one another in today's day and age.
Because some of the stuff that you guys go over is kind of based off of real life. Like you were talking about the guy who lost his job, and he's having to take a lesser job probably just to get by and pay bills or whatever else, and then he winds up getting called into the place to deliver the pizza. And I can completely understand where he's coming from. And not wanting to go in there. And so
it's tough. I mean, as you feel like you're kicked, and then you're going to get kicked while you're down. I don't know. Yeah, you're just, we all have an ego, and some more than others. But, it's just, he just knows that he's had such a hard time just lifting his chin up and getting out there every day, and it's just going to destroy him to have to go in and, in this pizza delivery thing and see these people, and, yeah.
Where do you get some of the ideas? Can people send you some ideas for the show?
Absolutely. Our website is goodsamaritans.com, and people are welcome to send us. We would love to, recreate some actual scenarios, but I have an incredible head writer, and also my showrunner came from the show Punk.
Oh,
and
okay.
He really understands hidden camera, and he's done a ton of hidden camera, and, for me, I always have to reel him in a little bit. He's fantastic, but, he always wants to go more for the funny, but I always want to make sure that, it costs someone. It has to be sort of a two-part thing. I don't think being a good Samaritan is just rolling down the window and throwing $1 out at someone that's panhandling. Right. I think it really has to cost you, whether that's time or money or both, and I feel like that's what really makes a true good Samaritan.
You said he was from the TV series Punk'd, and when you were describing it earlier in terms of like you running out, you felt like you just wanted to run out and talk to the people or something. And that's exactly, I pictured the set Punk'd so when you said, oh, the writers from Punk'd, I was like, oh, okay, well that kind of makes sense. That was the feeling that I got, which is a good thing because it was a really good show. Very, very funny show.
It's so great. I have to tell you, like, there is nothing funnier than hitting camera. I mean, it's amazing to me too what like people in Japan get away with their show. Where you look on the internet and these men are at the urinal and they just send in an ostrich in the men's room. You're just like, and they just keep running the same joke, and I don't know, it just never gets old for me to sit there and watch these men at the urinals, and they're using it, and this big ostrich just comes walking in. It's I don't know, that's hilarious to me because it's real life and it's real people. Yeah, it's fantastic. I love hitting camera.
Now,
and I always run my bloopers. That's the best. I think one of the best things on my show is my bloopers. I always run my bloopers over the credits. Because believe me, I mess up. I say the craziest things. Yeah, it's people are like, I cannot believe you're allowing people to see these bloopers. But I go, it's great because this is me, and this is what I do. This is how I act, and people should be able to see that.
And it makes it a lot more real too.
Yes.
It makes it look like it's not necessarily always scripted. It is what it is, and whenever you throw those outtakes in there, then it just adds a sense of reality to the reality. So good job.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm a professional. I know my lines. But there's just days when I don't know. I didn't sleep well, and I'm just like, I stumble or I see something, or I mean, I think one of the funniest parts of the bloopers, like I was interviewing a woman afterwards, and I said, "Hi, what's your name?" It was like nothing. It was like crickets, and I go, she forgot her name. So in the moment, it was just so she goes, she could not remember her name. Once that camera came on, she was like, I have no idea who I am. Yeah, it was great.
Nice.
Please also enjoy this trailer from her TV show Good Samaritans.
Have you ever done something for someone in need without asking for anything in return? Like stopping to give a stranger directions or fixing a stranded motorist's tire? Well, that's what this show is all about. Hi, I'm Amy Weber. Watch as we put everyday people to the test to see if they will lend a hand or pass on by. And our hidden cameras will be there every step of the way. Watch and see who will remain indifferent and who will make a difference. And as you watch, ask yourself, would you step up to the plate and do the right thing? Welcome to Good Samaritans.
Excuse me, miss, do you have a second? Guys, can you help me out? Hey, bro, you got a second, man? Miss, do you have a second? Hey, man, can I ask you a question? I'm not selling pizza here, but people keep walking by me. I used to work in a firm here, and I got let go like a month ago. And the office I used to work for is calling to order pizzas. I'm pretty humiliated to say this, but I can't show my face in there. I'm trying to find somebody to maybe run the pizzas in for me. Anything? I'm in desperate need of help here, just from a human to human.
Times are tough. It seems like everyone is looking for a job. Meet Robin. Robin is portraying a woman who just arrived at her final job interview. But unfortunately, she's forgotten one very important thing. Let's see if Robin can find someone with a good soul to help her out.
Excuse me, can I ask you something really quick? I left my shoes at home. I have a job interview. I'm meeting the boss the first time. I really need this job. I have this job interview. Help me for a second. I have an interview up there in like 10 minutes, and I left my shoes at home.
I'm running really late.
Oh,
sorry.
okay. I left my shoes at home. I had to take the bus. I see an interview upstairs in 10 minutes, and I left my shoes at home. Is there any way I could just borrow your sandals for like 10 minutes?
Thanks for watching. And remember to visit our website at GoodSamaritansTV.com for more information. Let's try to keep an eye out for one another, shall we? I'm Amy Weber.
Now, another thing that you're working on in terms of movie-wise, you have this amazing movie that's coming out. It's called Crossroad, and it's really about where fate collides and one road appears. And people can look this up on crossroadsmovie.com. But can you tell us a little bit about that? Because not only are you the executive producer on this, you also act in this movie as well.
I'm so proud of this movie. You know, it's just a movie really about, 12 strangers that come together and they all are at a crossroad, and I think they know which road they're going to take, but, they're in this diner together and the diner ends up getting robbed. And everything changes. Everything they thought they wanted and needed and where they were going to go in their life and these decisions, everything changes. And it's just a lovely movie. We have a few distributors that are interested. I just want to be really I'm just so picky about who takes this film on because I really feel like the world deserves to see it. It's a faith-based movie, so it's a little bit of a diversion from what I'm used to doing, but I really liked the script and loved where I was able to help take the script and get it done for this great group of people. And playing Rita was fantastic. It was just wonderful to not have to wear makeup every day on set. I loved it. I was a mess on set. You'll see, when people watch it, and they'll understand why I was such a mess because, a very big part of what's happening, there's like a little secret that I'm holding. And so, I'm like crying. I'm like, it's not something, it's just I'm so ugly in this movie, and I just was so happy just to be me and real and just, I was lost in every day. But it's a gem. It's just a fantastic movie, and all of the actors that we had in the movie were outstanding, and I think that the message is just pure and wonderful that, I think that everyone needs to have a relationship, whatever they believe in, their creator.
Nice. Everyone
needs to have some sort of relationship with that person or entity or whatever you believe in before you pass. You have to have that faith. You need to have that relationship. And that's really the moral of the story.
I completely believe in that as well. It's no matter whatever you believe in, I'm going to respect for you for what you believe in. You just have to believe. And
yes.
If you look at all the different religions and all the different philosophies in the world and theories in the world about what could happen or what can happen or who God is or whatever, as long as you're having your content and you believe in it, I completely respect that. Just believe.
Me too. Just believe. Just believe. Because, if that faith helps you to be respectful of others and be kind, that's all I care about. Just be a kind human being. Try to be patient with others and respectful of others. And if that's what your faith delivers to you, then I'm more than happy about that.
But that kind of plays back on the Good Samaritan part as well.
It does. I found myself on this road, in this path, and, the few movies that I've done before were, not that they were bad movies, and I'll continue to do just movies that were pure entertainment, but to go from producing, like a scary movie, producing something that's a little more thought-provoking, it's interesting. And then to be with the Good Samaritans at the same time just feels right for me. In this moment, I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. And things are kind of just coming forward because of, I think, if I'm on path, people believe in that. I feel like I'm really on my path right now.
Well, I have to admit something here, and you said it earlier in terms of your role in this piece. When I watched the trailer, I at first didn't recognize you. I'm so used to the beautiful Amy Weber, the glamorous supermodel, the WWE star, you know, everything that, you know, you've done so much. And when I saw this piece, I was like, where is she in the piece? And then I realized, I was like, oh my God. And then I watched the piece, I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. You know, you completely became that part from me watching it. And I saw you crying and everything. I was like, oh, you know, that's, oh, I'm so sorry for it. And then, like, the whole movie, just the filmography from it, the videography, the editing, the sounds, everything looks amazing. And and it kind of throws a twist, right? There's a twist to the movie about how it's all set up, about the guy Michael and what he's supposed to be.
Huge twist. Oh my gosh, a huge. Yeah. Definitely a huge twist. No, thank you. I was begging to wear some crazy wig in the movie, and they would not allow me to wear it. They're like, look, it's bad enough that you won't even let us put mascara on you. They're like, you know, you're not wearing a wig. I was like, please, I want to wear this like, crazy, crappy wig with like the bangs. Like, I cut them myself, like when I was 4. They were like, Amy, seriously, like, enough. Yeah. It's funny.
So, and when is this movie supposed to air? In terms of people picking it up, you're trying to get it out there now, visiting festivals and stuff.
We have a few offers from distribution. So yeah, I think I would foresee closer to a spring 2012 release. It just depends on. Movies take so long. It's so interesting. It's, you know, it's been done and you edit it. You've got to get such a great sound mix, and you want to get a wonderful score, because I think music is everything. I think that if you took music out of an Oscar-winning film, it just would not have the same punch and impact. We all know that music that underneath it just builds. It builds the suspension, the tension, the drama, the emotion. So we're working on a fantastic sound mix right now and a score for the movie. And I just want to find the right home. I want to find the right person. There's several people out that are interested, that are coming back. And but I will definitely keep checking the website, crossroadsmovie.com, and we'll have updates there.
Nice. And I have to agree with you as well. Music does play so much of a vital part of a film. It's to some people, you can just play the music, dun 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 dun, and then all of a sudden you just remember everything about the movie. You're like, oh my God, that's the movie, that's the music from so and so. And so, yeah, I agree with you.
That's why commercials have jingles, because they get you.
Yeah.
Those jingles. You're just like, you know every single jingle. I mean, these people are just brilliant. The music that goes with jingles and underneath shows and movies.
Well, kind of taking that and going into your music career, are you going to have a song in the movie?
I don't think so. You know, the music that I'm doing right now is really more like dance, pop. I have some mixes that are there. I'm getting some mixes done right now. Some are a little more tribal, some are more house. So it's not really conducive to the movie. The movie's really more ballad and that sort of a thing. But yes, to answer your question, no.
Okay. Well, I can understand that.
Please enjoy this trailer from her movie, Crossroads.
All the pain and the suffering in the world was intended by God, and He's not good. And if it violates any of His intentions, then He's not almighty. I'm sorry. I can't count on a God that can fail.
Last week they released a man who committed double homicide after serving only 3 years. Can you imagine how the victim's family feels?
I'll see you at 11.
All right, everybody, listen up. This is a robbery. You do what I say, nobody gets hurt.
Let's just do what they say, so we can get back to our lives.
Oh my God! Where'd you get the gun from?
No one's going anywhere, understand?
Has everyone gone crazy today?
He killed my wife and daughter, and he's walking the streets a free man.
Is that who you're meeting at 11?
How's your hands? They're all bloody.
You like rubbing your nose in other people's business, don't you?
My son would never have done the things you've done.
Everything's fine.
somebody's pulling a lot of strings to make this meeting go through. God not only spared my life that day, but he gave me a second chance to get to know him. And I don't know how many more coincidences you need to wake up. Crossroad.
Okay, so let's talk about your new album that's dropping March 1st, 2012. Your latest album. You have several albums out there already. This one's titled Let It Rain.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
I'm so excited. You know what? I went in and I had a fantastic producer and co-writer named Jeremy Green, and we went in and we knocked out so many songs in like 3-4 days. Just went in and started writing and getting them laid down, and I just think they're so fun, and I just can't wait to perform. That's my goal right now. Is I really just want to get out there and I want to perform. I want to get my backup dancers and make it happen and go and put on a great show for some people.
How do you consider your music? Is it more of a pop dance with a touch of something else, or how would you place your music?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little. I would say it's like dance pop with a little bit of house mixed in there. Because they all sound like, and I'm like, Cascada, I think it has like a very similar sound to Cascada or even Kesha. Not really Britney Spears because she's more pop. This actually has just more of like a really like heavy beat to it, and just really dance. Again, it's the kind of thing where you just either want to stop what you're doing and start dancing, or roll down your windows and crank it up. Fantastic beat.
Well, when I was listening to your release that's coming out, Let It Rain, it's the first release on the album. I actually did that. I started tapping my foot, started shaking my head. I started rocking out of my studio here. Yes, I was like, that's pretty great. I was like, all right. I mean, I love your music already, but when I heard this one, I was like, oh, that's nice. I like the beat to it. So it is one of those.
I'm excited. You know what? I have a great guy. I'm with Down Music and also with Universal Digital Republic, so they released me, and everyone's really excited about this album and excited to get it out there. I mean, obviously right now we can get the single Let It Rain everywhere. It's nationwide and international now, and Rhapsody and iTunes and Amazon and all those places. But we'll get some remixes, and we'll throw out the other songs on March 1st. So hopefully everyone will like them.
Nice. Well, one of the things I always like to find out about musicians in terms of their music, why they pick it, and more importantly, is the meaning of the song. I love the title, Let It Rain, but what does the song actually mean to you?
Well, the song is really about a relationship and, being thrown all these different things at the relationship, and the relationship still being able to sustain itself. It doesn't matter. I can, feel the storm moving over and above us, like lightning crashes. It doesn't matter what happens. Heaven and earth separated. It doesn't matter because we're still going to be strong, and we're still, a team, and we're going to make it through it no matter what. So that's what the song means to me.
Oh, that's pretty good. Do you think, I'm just going to throw out a quick future prediction for you, see if you can pick it. Do you think within the first couple of weeks it'll top the charts of #1?
That's funny. I mean, everyone seems to think that it'll do really well on the Billboard dance chart. So we'll see. They're saying top 10, but I don't know about I used to predict things. I'm so happy. I'm in a great place in my life. I can't say I was always in a great place in my life. I had a really awful, awful upbringing, and I survived it, and then survived cancer twice.
Oh, wow.
So to me,
congratulations.
Just like everything, thank you, in life is just icing on the cake. And I always say to people, I tweet to people, it's like, look, even a lottery winner had to go out and buy the ticket.
Exactly.
So if you have a dream, you have to go out and you have to go after it. You can't just sit and wait. I mean, it's always so interesting for me. People say like, oh, I was a modeling agency for 5 years because I felt like other modeling agencies weren't necessarily being that nice. I was with some of the biggest modeling agencies in LA, and I was like, I'm making great money, but why are you treating me like I'm a piece of dirt? It just was so weird. And like, I don't want models to feel that way. And so I ended up owning this agency, and it became a little more of a babysitting job than I had planned on. So I wrote a book called An Insider's Guide to Making It in Show Business, and I took all my experiences and put it in there, and it's out, on Amazon and everywhere. But I just feel like some people just expect things to happen. And that's not really the way it works. I mean, people would say to me, oh, well, I'm just going to go up and down the elevator at, ICM or CAA agency, Creative Artist Agency, or ICM, or Endeavor, and someone's going to discover me. It's like, good luck, take a sandwich, because it's just not realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, okay, fine. You have your stories here and there.
Yeah, there's only one or two Justin Bieber happenings.
Yeah, I mean, Charlize Theron was in a bank that I was just in, ironically, like an hour ago, and she threw a fit. Someone happened to see her. It's like, realistically, you need to make a plan and set some goals. You just have to go after it. So, I don't know. As far as the charts, it would be so amazing and so fulfilling, and I would feel like, obviously to be, recognized by peers and people in the music industry that have been doing it so much longer than me would be an honor. But I don't look for that. I just want people to be happy. I want people to be happy. I mean, even as a kid, I used to say, I think I can save the world. And then my negative mother used to say, no, you can't. Why? Forget it. And I'm like, no, I just want to help people. And that was sort of my thing. Even as a child, I would help people or rescue animals or whatever it was. And that's just something that's in me. So just want people to be able to get lost in some really great beats and really great lyrics and enjoy their life. And, I have a song that says, leave the drama at the door. It's like a dance song. It's like, seriously, that's why people go out. It's like, just forget it. Even if you're dancing for an hour, just leave all your problems at the door and just go out and remember, like, this life is precious. And, what is that saying? Live like, you're dying. I mean, it's like,
live like you're dying?
You have to live every day as though it's your last.
I like that.
Yeah. Sorry, that was really something or wordy, and I went on a tangent. Oh.
No, that's perfect. I love that.
Here's our musical guest, Amy Weber, singing Let It Rain.
Don't let go.
The one thing about you that I'm picking up, and I know a lot of our listeners and viewers are as well, is everything that evolves around you is about happiness. Even though the movie Crossroads, and even though there's a little bit of the twist and stuff like that, but it's an emotional, inspiring story. You had the Good Samaritan TV, even the title in your album Let It Rain. Everything resonates that, and so that's just pure. So it's, please talk on more. I'm going to go out there and say they're just going to top the charts up there with the top 10. So
thank you. I hope you're right. Yeah. No, I think I spent too many years in a really sad place. And I know, I even know when I first came to LA and then modeling started, people used to say to me, just insightful people would say, there's a sadness in your eye. Behind your smile, there's still a sadness. And I'm like, how do they know? Just was this weird kind of thing, and I was able to finally just release everything and get past it, and not be like, oh gosh, I'm a child of I'm violence, I'm in a horrible upbringing and alcoholism and stuff that was going on in my family. So,
right.
But yeah, so now I think the most important thing is for me to focus on being happy, trying to do what I can to make other people happy.
Did it feel like a weight was lifted off your shoulders?
So much. I mean, it's like there's another. I love all these things. There's another thing where it's like you have this hot stone in your hand and you're ready to throw it at the person that you hate or you're angry at. But what's happening is you're the one getting burned because you're the one holding the hot stone. Like you're sitting here holding this hot stone, ready to throw it, and it's like, but your hand is the one that's now like burned. It's not the person that, you're so angry at or resentful or whatever it is. So you got to, at some point, just let it go.
Yeah. You just drop it and don't throw it.
You do. I mean, you learn from it, and you can be sad, and you can mourn for yourself that you didn't have what other people had, but you can also be proud that you survived it, and you lived another day to basically, live a better life and a life that you choose for yourself.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well said. Your other albums that you have out there, you have a self-titled album called Amy Weber, and then you also have Something Kind of Ooh, and those songs I think are also in that same genre of pop dance, kind of clubbing kind of a thing as well, and those have gotten a lot of hits, and you've got a lot of fan base off of that. So that's why I say you're dropping this next album come March 1st, 2012, Let It Rain. I think it's going to be right up there amongst the best of them with the work that you've already done. So you just keep progressing and progressing and progressing in your life, in your style of who you are, and it's showing to so many people out there that you're not only beautiful on the outside, but you're beautiful on the inside. And that sadness that was behind that beautiful smile or those eyes is now gone. And so what everybody is seeing is beauty, just raw, pure beauty, and shining in a bright light. And that's a very good thing. So congratulations.
Thank you. That's so nice. Thank you so much.
Well, some other future projects and shows and stuff that you're working on. We've got the album coming out. We've got the Crossroads coming out. We've got Good Samaritan TVs coming out. What are some other things? Because you are incredibly busy.
Right now I have some other projects that, of course people are always waiting for funding on the project. So, I have a follow-up to the Pumpkin cover that I really want to produce and also be in that, trying to raise those funds to do the film and the script justice. And other than that, I'm still promoting my book, the Insider's Guide to Making It in Show Business. And, you know, every day I don't know what's going to happen. You know, I can't wait for people to hear the rest of the music and see the movies and see the show, and you know, I'll be able to go out and promote it and hopefully, you know, start to actually do things that mean a lot to me, like supporting PETA and supporting, you know, children that have grown up in abused homes like myself. And you know, I recently featured on the show a company called MyStuffBags.org, and these people are just so incredible. These human beings that are working so hard for these kids that are displaced. And a lot of kids that are in abused homes or they're in really bad situations, they'll get taken out of their house in the middle of the night. And all they have is maybe the shirt on their back. You know, they don't say, oh, pack a bag. And so what these people provide is, you know, My Stuff Bags, they provide a bag for these kids and teens that have just common things that kids or teens might need, even just toiletries. Every bag has to have a blanket that the kids can call their own, stuffed animals, toys, things like that. I mean, it's incredible to these kids. People from all across the United States are knitting blankets and sending them to these people, and what it says to these kids is, like, I mean something. I'm a person, and I deserve to have something, because everything has been taken away from these kids, including their self-esteem. So I'm just, you know, hoping that, you know, I can take everything that I'm doing and, you know, get more visibility to be able to really, truly put my, you know, efforts into people like this.
Well, that's really nice. I like that. And that's mystuffbags.org?
Mystuffbags.org, yes.
Okay, cool. I love the fact that for what they're doing for children as well, one of the organizations that I kind of founded is called Computers for Kids, and my degree from college is in computer science. And so during Christmas time or whenever people will donate computers to me, for me to turn around, clean them up, and get them ready and hand those out to needy families with kids who are struggling to get through school, or they really need something. And I believe is that, you know, also computers can help with education, but the education becomes a greater successful rate in society.
Absolutely.
And so,
I think knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And, you know, people are like, oh, you're so smart. Like, if I don't know something, I used to go before, like, you know, I had a computer, like, I would just go to the library.
Oh,
I didn't know.
That's where I did.
I would just go teach myself what it was that I didn't know, because I didn't want to be that person that didn't know what someone was talking about. You know, it bothered me if I didn't have the knowledge. So I commend you for that, because I think that, you know, there's so many kids. Gosh, I just read something about I saw it on the news where it's like, this 16-year-old just, you know, discovered how to kill cancer, and what is she doing? She's going to her, you know, 6th period class. She's still in high school. It's like, what? And these are the people that, you know, can continue to help our society in so many ways. And if they're not given the tools that they need to advance their minds, you know, it's not going to help anyone.
Yep, I completely agree. Now, make sure everybody go to mystuffbags.org and say that Amy Weber sent you. So.
All right, I know.
That's a beautiful story. I like that. Okay, other websites and contact information that you have. We've got amyweber.net.
Yes.
Go ahead.
It's okay. So the main website is amyweber.net, and then you can always tweet me, which is the real Amy Weber with 1 B on Twitter, and then I have a Facebook fan page, which I think is Facebook fan page Amy Weber.
Yeah, I've got Amy Weber Fan Club.
Amy Weber Fan Club. There you go.
Yep. Which I'm a proud member of.
It's a lot to keep up with. Yeah.
I'm a proud member of that one. Yes, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Okay, so music on iTunes, Amazon, CD, Baby Rhapsody. The website's amberweber.net. On Twitter, love Twitter, The Real Amy Weber. And Crossroads Movie is crossroadmovie.com. And Good Samaritan is goodsamaritantv.com.
Okay, Good Samaritans with an S, TV.com.
Yep, Good Samaritans with an S. Nice. A lot of good stuff going on.
Thank you.
Well, do you have any final thoughts you would like for everybody to know about you or about your work?
Well, you know what? I'm very happy that, you know, this was a great interview. I really like, and I even tweeted about it. I really like to interview people that, you know, do radio, because I feel like it's very thought out. You know, print is great. It's always fun to go and promote stuff with print, but I don't know. I'm appreciative that you looked into my background and everything that I have going on. And, no, it's fantastic. It means that you cared enough about the interview to do your homework. That's wonderful.
Yes, I definitely do. For anybody to come onto the show, this show is all about the guests and their work and what they do in society and communities and everything else. And so I honor that so highly. So I love going out and researching and finding more and more stuff. I was already a fan, but finding out more and more stuff about you and having you on here is just amazing for myself, for all the producers who helped put the show together, and for all our fans and listeners and everybody out there. So on behalf of all of them, I thank you for coming on to our show, and it's been an honor and a pleasure for us talking with you, or for me talking with you. They didn't get a chance to. Well, I wish you a great day and the whole beautiful rest of the week and everything else. And if you want to come back on and talk about your book, The Insider's Guide to Show Business, that's being sold on Amazon, let me know. We'd love to have you coming back, or some of the other movies that you're producing.
Absolutely. I would be happy to come back.
So, well, thank you, Amy.
Here's our musical guest, Amy Weber, singing Let It Rain.
Don't let go.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
At Taylor Gifts, we do customized monogramming and embroidery. We can monogram anything from a simple one name on a bib for a baby to a customized logo on a company shirt. We can make gifts for your wedding entourage and gifts for your friends. Label your children's items for school and put names on jerseys for sports. If you have items of your own you want them monogrammed and embroidered, we can do that. Tailor Gifts are sewn with high-quality thread on a professional embroidery machine. So go to the website www.tailorgifts.net, call 251-391-4354, email sales@tailorgifts.net, visit us at ETSY, and Facebook us. We are ready for your orders. Welcome to WROM, Realms of Music Radio and Social Network. We support independent artists and talk shows, hosting a large discussion forum and an artist gallery. We also have a large social network combining the best of Facebook and MySpace into one. So make sure you submit your music to us and create a profile to promote yourself today. That's realmsofmusic.com, the best of music radio. The Ghost Tales Television Network, GTN. GTN is designed to give the paranormal TV and filmmaking community the opportunity to showcase their talents and creations. If you believe you have what it takes to create your very own TV show and or short film and you would like the opportunity to showcase your creations, you may contact us at ghosttellstv@gmail.com or call 901-377-7166 for more details. Make sure you visit ghosttellstv.com. GTN, America's Paranormal Superstation.
Thank you for tuning in and listening to the show. I am your host, Bryan Lee Whatley. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next time when another story begins. Until then, love and light.